Hello everyone, this is Rohit Manoharan from Networkers Home and welcome back to the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate Lab Training. For this video, we'll be discussing about lifecycle management with S3. So we'll be discussing the theory along with the lab session. So let's head up to our AWS console. So I have successfully logged into my AWS Management Console. What you have to do next is go for recently visited services, and S3 is under there because we used in the previous video. If you don't have that service under recently visited services, you have to click on service, and under storage there is S3. Great. So I will not go for that. I will go for recently visited service. I will click on this, which will open our S3 bucket. So as you can see, we have S3 buckets. We have two buckets which we created previously. So I will go for the second bucket. Let's go for the second bucket and go for the management tab. So let's go for the management tab. And as you can see, we have lifecycle. So under that, from this web page itself, you can explain what lifecycle rule means. So as you can see, we have three icons, and under that we have a description. So let me explain it in short. So the feature of lifecycle is to manage your object, and it can actually automate transition of an object to different tier of storage. So for example, you can actually move from standard access tier to infrequently access tier after a certain period. And there is one more thing that this lifecycle management rule gives us, which is expire your object, which means after a certain number of days you can really delete that object. So let's create that rule. I will click on add lifecycle rule, and you can name this rule whatever you want. It's not a universal name, so you can name whatever you are. I will go for my rule. Great. And there is limit scope to a specific prefix or tag and apply to all objects in the bucket. So what is the difference between that? So if you have objects specifically tagged for finance department or HR department, whatever department, you can actually limit this rule with that object. Okay, so it's completely up to you. I will go for apply to all objects in my bucket. Yeah, and hit next. Basically you have two types of transition, which is current version and the previous version. You can make the transition between current versions and the previous version. So I will go for both of them. So as you can see, we have the options, and now you can add the transition. So our object creation is there. So I will go for select a transition, and there are a couple of tiers that you can see that you are. So I am right now in a standard one. So I will go for standard infrequently access after. So I will go for that, and it will be converted after 30 days. So you can add a transition above that. So I will add a transition. So I will go for the second one. Yeah. So you can add the transition, and the previous versions of your object, you can go for that also. So I will go for add transition and go for intelligent tiering, and it's okay. So I will go for 70 days. So it's great, and I will click on next. Yeah. So configure expiration. So this means you can expire your object. So there are two options. As before, we have the current version and the previous version. So you can expire the current version of an object. So the default one is 425 days. I'm okay with that. The previous version. So let's do one thing. Let's make it 61. Yeah. Go for 61. Yeah. And delete it permanently after 71. Yeah. And previous version will be deleted after 71, and the current version will be deleted after 61 days. So I'm good with that. I will click on next, which will give me the overview. And this rule applies to all objects in the bucket. We have to acknowledge that in order to save it. So I will check this box and hit on save, which basically adds a rule. So this is the rule which applies to all objects in our bucket. So currently we have one file, we have two files in our bucket. This will be implied to both of these files. So what I was talking to limit the scope is basically, let's go for checking, and let's go for the short one. So currently I don't have any tag, so I can add a tag, which means finance department, and whatever the value you want to give. So you can actually limit the scope under that lifecycle management. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like this video. Till the next video, bye bye.